We've got this 24-hour hotline in case something happens while you're out on the road.
When Avis Car Rentals first came on the market, their advertising strategy to compete with Hertz was simple.
Avis says it in 3 words: we try harder.
Live Golf, with much less network presence, but huge sums of money to support it, is taking the same tack, working toward the goal of delivering the best golf presentation on television. Given the opportunity to see their broadcast center in action, the scope of staff and technology was overwhelming. Fortunately, to explain it is James Watson, Senior Vice President, Worldwide Production. James, when they gave you the assignment of putting together a broadcast that would appeal to golfers and the public, and you had to deal with players spread out throughout the entire course, throw in another element, team competition, what was your mindset and how did you approach even thinking about doing something like this?
It was exciting. It was a once-in-a-generation chance to have a blank canvas with a premier global sport. We have 14 shows, each one the size of a major. Because you need every green covered with the shotgun start, you need every shot covered because of the team scoring. So we knew we were going to need resources, but then the question was, how do we allocate those resources?
Did you have a goal in mind of what you wanted the presentation to have or not have that other traditional golf telecasts were doing?
We felt like too much of golf was living in the previous shot, the shot from the last hole, or a recreation of where the ball position is based on the shots they just hit. So we wanted to be live as much as possible. More graphics, more storytelling devices, more innovations. And then the other key for us was audio. How do we get closer to the action than any other coverage has gotten before?
A lot of the technologies have gotten better and more sophisticated. Did you just draw upon these and realign them to a certain degree, or did you actually have to develop technologies that were new to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish?
There's a number of sports we drew inspiration from, but we did have to develop tech from scratch. So the main change we made was the cadence of getting more shots into the coverage, getting live more often. Our Don't Blink feature, any shot that doesn't matter to the leaderboard gets moved into a separate segment that runs every 10 or 15 minutes saying, here's the best shots from around the course that don't matter, but they're still great golf shots, and condensing them. Most golf coverages are sort of 60% off tape, 40% live. We're 60% live, 40% off tape. As we evolved, I think drone integration was a big part of that. We wanted a real-time show, the target that the golfer had, pinning players with graphics like you see in other sports like F1, for example, or horse racing, NASCAR. That technology took time to develop, and I think the big one for us was optical tracking and how we integrated that into the broadcast. The live putt break predictor, which took us a year to develop.
He's got a chance!
And at the end of 2023, after 2 years of development, we saw the drone tracer, so we could show that in real time.
Where Eugenio Chacarra, his second shot into the third hole.
You also have players from all parts of the globe. The audience, they're not going to necessarily be that familiar with the players. Did you have a different way of approaching it that would help you bring out all the nuances that people would then say, I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
It begins and ends with the commentators and the storytelling. In addition to that, we've got feature content. We get tremendous access from our players and teams. A system that allows AI to inform the graphic that is going to go on screen, so that the operator has options to select from rather than having 100 graphics he could get in. It narrows it down to 15 relevant ones.
So you can have access to what you need really, I guess, real time without having to say, okay, how soon can you bring up this information or that?
In a traditional golf broadcast, it's all being driven by the graphics producer. 016B, now we want team scores, that's 227A. We don't do that. The system allows the operator just to click through different options, and the graphics producer's job is to help that operator get ahead of what storylines are coming rather than reacting to what storylines just happened.
Interesting that Sergio went back to this putter.
Do you have a concern that there's information overload, that you can overwhelm people with too much?
The fact that we've pushed things in some cases too far in one direction is a good thing for a sport that I think has been a little lacking in innovation for a 20-year period. We identified very early that we wanted to go for a younger audience, and the younger audience wants to be saturated with information, follow any player or team that they want to follow when they want to follow it, not just when the television producer's saying, this guy's relevant, which led to our Any Shot, Anytime initiative. I think we've done a good job of developing team golf, particularly on the weekend, being a key storytelling device. You have a lot of situations where a player has a lead on Sunday of 6-7 shots, and the story becomes the chase for second and third. The Crushers coming back from 8 to 10 shot deficits, which creates a dramatic storyline on Sunday. Team golf is very much going to be a part of golf's future, and that's a good thing. I think the real space we're exploring now is this Any Shot, Anytime initiative. Every hole's shot, every hole's covered. Those feeds go up into the cloud, and then on the Live Golf Plus app, by mid-season, you'll be able to watch any group you want on the golf course, replay any shot that you want from any player. You'll be able to create a team 4-box to follow your 4 favorite players, and I think for me, that's the future of golf coverage.
While admitting that broadcast technology is a passion, from my point of view, Live has the most sophisticated telecast in golf. But will viewers agree? We soon shall see.